Hello Aries, and welcome to your March 2019 Lenormand Spread. This is Jade with yesYesYes. Welcome back to the channel, and if you are new here, welcome. We're going to do a spread with the Lenormand deck, which is a deck created by Mademoiselle Lenormand in Paris, and there are 36 cards. I'm going to do a Grand Tableau reading. It's a general reading for Sun, Moon, and Rising. So we'll see what shows up for love, for finances, for work, for health. We can kind of get an overall view. And again, it's very general. This is one of the most accurate readings I give. Excuse me. So it's potential that, you know, there's a little bit of resonance for everyone, but do check out the other videos too if you're wanting to get an overall full view. And if you want to have a private reading with me, that information is in the box below, as well as all of the information on the decks. Thanks so much for your subscribes and your comments. I really love hearing back from you, hearing if it resonates. And all that thumbs up action is really helping the channel to grow. Thank you all so much. I'm going to give you a Gabby Bernstein card just because she's amazing, and they're always fun. Like this. Oneness is my true nature. So we might be looking at trying to clarify, bringing all of these ideas, all of our thoughts all back together again in a sense of oneness. Oh, okay. Well, this one just came up. All right, let's start again. So it's interesting when we get cards, and I mean, these are going to be just general. Okay. This one's sticky. Here we go. You know what to do, Aries. Yes, you do. You always do. So we'll see what that means. It may not mean anything. They're just fun. I enjoy them. And that's the Mike Dooley deck. All right. So going to the Lenormand Spread, I'm going to give you, well, actually, let's start here with, let me do this again. Everything's so sticky today. There. Clear it out. Clear it out. Okay. All right. So we're going to see where this story begins for Aries in March of 2019. There's our beginning card. So I'm going to lay them out and then we'll talk about them. We have the mountain, the bear, the coffin, the fox, the child, the star, the garden, and there's the man. The male significator, is it all on the screen? Yes, okay. The feminine's way over here. The key, the scythe, the sun, the moon, interesting, the fish, the anchor, and the house. Next line, the snake, the tower, the book, there's the heart, and the lily. There's the rider, and the dog, and the paths, or the crossroads. Final line, the clouds, the cross, the whip, the clover, the letter, the stork, the ship, and the birds. All right, and then our summation is the tree, the ring, the bouquet, and the mice. All right. So with there being only 36 cards, all of the cards are showing. So there are going to be some negatives and some positives. They're going to lay out, and so that's, you know, we'll kind of dig in where they are. Now, the feminine, here you are. This is your present. This is all your future. Masculine, you're way over here. This is your present, and this is all where you're coming from. If I was doing a personal reading for the masculine, I would redraw this so that we could give you a little bit of both. I probably even, I don't know, I might even redraw it just for the feminine, just because I don't know where we're coming from. But I'm going to, again, since this is general, we're going to go through it and see what resonates. I also want to count and see if any of the cards are in their own suit. So just give me a moment here. All right, so nothing is in its own suit, which is fine, or its own house, sorry. It's just an extra flavor. All right, we're going to start with this first line, the Mountain. Mountain is a card of challenge, so we're going from challenges to conversation this month. I do like that. So you might go from an internal place to a more external place where you're talking more. This month we do have Mercury in retrograde. Communication will be funky. I'm already kind of feeling it. So we might be coming from a place of being kind of on your own and isolated to more of a place of socialization later in the month, which is fine, which is great actually. Sorry. So we've got some isolation, and it might have to do with you perhaps going straight into your power. I feel like the bear is very much Aries, like it's authoritative. It's usually a mother, maternal or paternal, perhaps a boss as well. I am seeing that there's a work indication on this line, so this could be what we're talking about. That maybe you've been challenged with your boss at work. There's some kind of change that needs to happen at work where you have a little bit more power in the social strata, I guess. So you're looking for promotion, and so you might need to be promoted outside of the what would that be, like the structure that you're already in, because you and your boss are having maybe a little bit of friction. You've been trying to grow past your boss. There is something new that's coming up, and again, I'm talking for the feminine in the future here. There's something new that's coming up that looks like it might bring, and this might be social media here actually. So if you are in marketing or in that realm, I'm feeling like some kind of social media will bring you to your masculine. There's something that you're going to have to either incorporate social media into your work, into the job that you're already doing, or if you are already in social media with this promotion that you might get, this new chance, this newness, it's a new something. So I'm feeling like perhaps it's even, maybe you've been off Facebook for years and now you come back on, something like that. And then your masculine shows up. Now, for the male Aries, what's been happening for you is that there was this struggle at work, and that you're now just kind of starting to open back up to, again, socialization. And it could be, again, with social media. Maybe that's something where you've been, and actually this could be online dating even though I'm not seeing any other significators. This is definitely something about community and about putting yourself out there, being known in community. So, and I'm putting it out there in terms of social media because that's the easiest. Now, the other thing is that if in your job you have now taken on a more public persona, then that is what this is talking about, and that you yourself, masculines, are taking on this more public persona. You are being seen, and you are being appreciated, and maybe even sought after because of that, because now you're stepping forward in this more public role. Your feminine masculines is way over here, which means that there's a bit of space and distance between you. It looks as if it might be someone who you're reflecting back upon. And again, with Mercury retrograde, we tend to look back. We tend to reflect upon relationships, sometimes reach out to past relationships. So that could be what's going on for you, masculine Aries, is that you're wanting to reach back to a past relationship that you're reflecting on. Okay, let's see what more comes up. Now we'll go back to the feminine here. There's some answer, some kind of success that you will receive when you make a quick decision, when you move swiftly and quickly towards using your intuition about money. If you are in a place where, and it's going to lead you actually to a more stable home. So if you're in a place where you have some money to invest, if you are in a place where you're, maybe you're looking into a new way of investment, so that would be cryptocurrency, even affiliate marketing, or some different way where you can spread your hustle around, right? You're looking at making money in a different way, and it looks like there's going to be a lot of success there. The success is also connected to a commitment that you make, and I'm talking about intuition and this intuitive nudge about money, but there's also an emotional connection too. So if you get the nudge from your, within, if you get an emotional connection that warms your heart, then that's telling you this might be a good choice for you. Now, again, I'm going to say it, Mercury retrograde, it's not the right time, the best time for making new commitments, for signing any contracts. So just be aware of that this month. And if it's something where you can just speculate, if you can just do due diligence and not necessarily commit, that's probably going to be the best choice in the long run. Okay, so we're talking about a really great choice that comes up for you where you're thinking about, you're feeling things through financially to make some changes, and it's going to give you, lead you to more of a stable home life, stable feeling of home. That could be an actual home, but it can also just be a stability and a security within yourself, self-security. There's also a nice connection there with this masculine here because he has that security already, it seems. And for the masculine, this is what your feminine might be going through. So she might be really expanding her ways in which of making money. And it seems like you might have a better idea of how to do that. So when you do meet, there might be some interesting conversation about finances. You might spread or share some of your information, some of the things that you have learned, and that might bring you two closer. It's interesting because I kind of look at the path between you all, and so that's what I'm looking at is the stuff that's happening in between you is about finances. We talked about public persona, and what is nice is that we have the sun and the moon, so we have both success and intuition. So we have the balance here. There's a lot of balance between you as well. All right. Third line, we're starting with the snake, a little snake. Okay, so the snake is about deceit. There's also a not so good feeling, okay? So it could just be an inkling. It doesn't necessarily have to be any mal intent or anything badly actually happening. It could just mean that parts are moving underneath you. And that can be a little confusing for you, specifically feminine. What I'm feeling here is that it's connected to a higher educational system. That would mean college or grad school, or perhaps if you're in a job training program. There's something that's not quite right about it. Perhaps you're in it right now and you're just wondering how it's going to go. There's just something that's a little off about it. There's going to be a little bit more of a burden than perhaps you had expected. Again, I'm feeling like this could just be a financial thing where you might realize, you need to take a whole nother year or another, course that you didn't realize you'd have to. There's just kind of something that came up that doesn't feel so good. It would feel a lot better if you were closer to your goal, but you might have just gotten some information out that leads you to having to invest more in your education or invest more in this, and maybe this is a corporation. It could also be just some type of larger system. So if you are involved in a larger system, and I talk about this in many different ways. It could be specifically church because we have the cross here nearby. So if there is a connection to your church and perhaps you're feeling like there might be a change, you might be growing away from this church, or that there is some kind of gossip that's happening at the church, even that could be there as well. So there's just some kind of stickiness and ickiness that's happening right now, just specifically for the feminine. You are moving through it, though. It's just something that you might be feeling currently that might have to do with higher education, with a church or church group or some type of organization that might be connected to a weighted, what I mean is religion or some type of higher structure. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, let's move on from that. We're moving on. We talked about there being some learning that might need to continue. Now, here in the middle, which is what I'm really fascinated by, is that we have, the sun and the moon, and then we also have the heart and the lilies. And I look at these two cards. The lilies I look at as a card of legacy and antiquity. It's also about elders, and it also can be very sensual. So there's something really lovely that's blooming here. And because the masculine and feminine are so far from each other, but we can look at this, the sun and the moon representing the masculine and feminine. So what I feel is that what was really going to connect you two together, you and your partner, is there's this warmth that's happening in your heart space. And I feel like that's what, we're talking about, going from this isolation to being more in the public. There's a self-love that's kind of brewing within you both. I think that you are on your paths towards each other. You haven't maybe met each other, but the more that you are feeling your sensuality, your connectedness to being able to love deeply, the balance between your masculine and feminine sides of yourself. And even if you don't believe in this, maybe, it's non-gendered specific and what is masculine and what is feminine. But if we go to a place of oneness, right? We were talking about this earlier. Oneness is your true nature. So if we're talking about balance, and really, this is all self-learning. This is all really getting comfortable with the self in whatever way and whatever expression we need to be. I think this is a new blossoming of who you are, and a deepening in your heart space. That's a lot of new age words. If you, basically, let me just say, the advice is that if you feel love in your life daily, despite the fact if there's not someone there, then that's going to call that person to you. Just law of attraction basics, right? And I do firmly believe in that. I've seen it work in my life and in others. So what I would suggest is that you get real comfortable at loving and feeling like there's a long-term connection, if that's what you want. And what's happening here, what it's showing me, is that it's coming through a friendship, okay? You're going to have the choices. Maybe your friend is introducing you to multiple people. Maybe this person is a friend that you never really looked at like that before, okay? Now, that's also something that's very specific to people. That doesn't always work, but just keep that in mind, is that once we get really good with the heart space, right? Once you feel like, I'm good, I don't desire, I am good as I am, I have everything I need, but I have so much that I'm ready to give, then that's when everything overflows. That's when the magnetizing of the partnership happens. So for masculine, just know that the same thing, you have to get back, and I feel like you have, this is subconscious for you, but you're really digging into this as well. You're getting good with this, okay? You might have given up on dating for a little while here, for both actually, because you're really working on yourself, and I think that's the key. So keep doing that, and then look towards who your friends are going to introduce you to, because that's what's telling me your next choices, your next path will be. And I'm finding that that's where the connections are. Okay, here's our last line here. I think I'm going really long-winded. So again, we have a little bit of this confusion when it comes to this, if it was a religious organization or some type of burden, okay? And you've beaten yourself up about it. If this is the feminine, it's coming for you. It might be family related. It might be health related. So this could be a new health routine that you've been trying to get yourself doing, and it's just not working out for you. You're doing it over and over again, and maybe you're not seeing the results that you want. It might be difficult for you to continue that commitment, even though it's still early in the game. You might be beating yourself up because you're just not feeling like it's doing anything, that it's making the changes that you were really hoping for. And I would just advise you to, sit back and really feel that through. Do you feel healthier? Do you feel like you have more energy? Are you being drawn towards more healthy foods, more healthy relationships, or more healthy conversations with people? So even if it's little things that are changing, maybe if it's not necessarily the body composition or the musculature or the weight loss, see if there are other things that are changing for you, because I'm feeling like there's some luck with this this commitment that you've made to yourself. That's what I'm feeling that is. Okay. Now we do have, again, a written, and this could be more, maybe this is that health club contract. Just again, the thing about contracts, here we are with Mercury retrograde, is that read the fine print. Read the fine print and make sure that you really understand what you're signing up for. But there is a new beginning that's coming forward with that, and it's a new journey for you, and then that's leading you to more of a communicative and a more social lifestyle, which I really enjoy for you. Okay, and then finally what we have, Aries, is you have this commitment to your health, to your well-being, and to your family. It's blessed, and even though you might feel some anxiety about it, maybe you feel like there are, not everybody else may be as committed as you to your health, of course, or to your to the family, or to your relationships in your family. Just know that they're coming, that blessing is supported. You are supported in this connection, this commitment that you are making to yourself. And I'm feeling like this is health. We haven't really talked much about family. It might be this here, but any kind of commitment, any kind of you digging in and saying, I'm really going to sacrifice, it could be some sacrificing, but I'm really going to dig in and make changes in my life. I really want to get healthy. I really want to, create a legacy in whatever way that might be. I really want to build my family bonds and make them stronger, heal whatever it is you might have to. There might be a little bit of anxiety that comes from what's going to happen. I can't tell you what might, what's on the other side of that, but I feel like that anxiety can be natural. Just don't let your little doubts, because the doubts are like mice, right? They're gonna eat away at the potential of whatever this new health routine or new commitment to your family life may be. So just try to keep it in check. Know that it is supported. The family supports you, or ultimately it's all going to work out. Just keep this in check, okay? So that's what I'm seeing for you. You know what to do. Oh, here we go. We'll bring that one back. You know what to do, Aries. So it's continuing on for the masculine with, this new job that might have put you in the social forefront. Feminines moving forward. There's some type of financial freedom that's coming up for you. Great news on that. Being really connected to yourself and self-development, really getting good with your heart space, and you're feeling your embodiment, the feeling of feeling good within yourself, so that you can magnetize a partnership, potentially being introduced by a friendship. Moving past whatever this ickiness is, if it's some kind of issue in the church setting, or perhaps it's higher education where you just needed to invest a little bit more. There's just something that's a little wah right now, okay? So just know that this is passing for the feminine, and in the masculine, this is very far away from you. It might be something that's affecting you, but not very much, because it's very far away from you. And everything's moving forward. Just if you are doing a new health routine, really give it some time, really look at it and evaluate how it might be really changing your life in more ways than what you might have expected, and really dig into that commitment. And if it's for family, know that you might be the one who's the most committed, even though others feel good about your commitment. Like if it's just spending more time together, saving up to help move mom to a better place to live, or whatever that is. The little doubts might take away from it, but that's really all that's working against you, and you have all the control here, Aries. So I love this ultimate, this center card. Sorry, the center is really about oneness. Oneness is my true nature. So that's that whole middle area. That's beautiful for you, Aries. If this resonates for you, let me know in the comments section below. I'm really curious. Always love to hear back from you, and I love the conversation, in fact, so we always talk back and forth. Hit that like button. That helps the channel out so much. And if you want to go deeper, reach out to me for a personal reading. I'd love to work with you. And for now, Aries, I'm going to send you all of my love.